Here.
Perfect. All right, so welcome to all of you who have been able to trickle in. We typically start at 05, so you're all good. As Blake mentioned, we are going to reference Slack pretty often in our conversation tonight. As he mentioned, it's just the most convenient way for us to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And this is really about having a co-learning space along with going through this micro-credential. So I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to walk through some of the agenda today and just the most important pieces for everyone to be aware of in the immediate. And so, as you know, you are in the AI leaders space, and this is our first cohort and really the beta pilot. And I'm going to get into what that's going to mean for y'all later on. But it's something that I do want you to orient around. And so, here we have our partners, our university partners, and as Blake mentioned, our 1111 platform, which is really more than just where we're going to be hosting the micro credential, but also really a whole ecosystem in this tech space for us to be thinking about what is the future of integrating this work into all of our lives in whatever respect that that might be. And so the agenda for this evening, Blake and I did intros. One other person who's not able to join us this evening, but you will definitely see in the Slack is Stefan. And we work together really to make sure that the experience that y'all have as we do this pilot is one that is meaningful. We're going to get into the timeline of the course. We're going to get into the platform, so the 1111 platform. We're going to do a course overview. We're going to talk to you ad nauseum about Slack because we mean it. And then a little bit about the beta pilot and questions. And again, all of your questions, they can literally start now, can start flowing right into the Slack. Okay. Okay, so this is how it works. As you are moving through the course, instead of getting like badges, what you're actually going to be getting is portfolio items. So each of the courses that you complete are another piece of your portfolio. And the whole intent of this is making sure that we're learning by doing. And so when we're looking at the fact that this is the beta pilot, that means that every single thing that you contribute to this space, whether it be via the Slack, whether it be via the course, it all gets like rolled up into how do we do this better for the next iteration of this. And so you are truly co-creating this experience with us as you are building out your portfolio. And so the process of what this is going to look like. So the process, not just the course, but the process, like the arc of our time together. So the 18th yesterday and the 19th, this is really about just orientation, making sure we have a chance to touch base and that you join the Slack. Between the 19th and the 30th, so that's going to give you about a week and some change, that is your time to connect and engage. So we do not want you waiting until the course Zero Foundations opens on April 1 to be familiar with the cadence of how we're operating in this space, right? So that means that introduce yourself, get to know somebody, like you can have a long conversation about like why we're all here in this together in this time. Like this is the time to do it. And one other thing that I really want to lift up that was mentioned yesterday is like there are people who genuinely work in this whole ecosystem that are in this Slack channel. And so you're not only communicating with your peers, but you're also communicating with potential employers and mentors and other people who you just never know how they'll become a part of your ecosystem long term. So take advantage of the network that you are already a part of. From April to May, that is the time that we're building that portfolio. So that means that you're going to be completing those courses, which are your portfolio, and then that's going to put you in a position to earn your micro credentials. Um, on May 27th ish, because life happens and so dates might adjust, but again, we'll put that in the Slack if that ever does happen. That's when 40 participants are going to be selected for a job placement cohort. And so that's going to be based off of your performance in the portfolios. The other thing that I want to uplift about this whole experience is that only the people who are our university partners will be potentially chosen for one of those 40 spaces. However, every single soul that is a part of this experience is completely like eligible to complete the micro credential and again is a part of the network. So even if that like the job opportunity doesn't like hit in that specific way this time around, again, you just never know what's going to happen. So I'm like truly encouraging everyone to lean into this experience because it only becomes more robust when we do. And then on June 23rd, we're going to have graduation. Yay! Okay. Um, so a little bit about the 1111 platform. And Blake, if there's anything that I really leave out about this, please feel free to jump in. But like I was saying earlier, it's more than just where we're going to be hosting our asynchronous learning experience. So, like, yes, it will be here, but this is, as Blake said, like an open source learning platform, and it's also a community. So there are things that I'm telling you, like, I have had like the absolute pleasure of working on this project. But if you were to go into any of those other Slack channels that you have complete authority to be a part of, you're constantly learning and being a part of new conversations and testing out programs and just like literally like it's like Disney World. So like join and do the things, like take advantage of the opportunity. Um, and then also, this is where we're able to get feedback. So if something's not working or there's a way to do it better, this is how you let us know. So I think this is like a great place to also exercise like your own like autonomy to like contribute. So get in where you fit in. And so as we go through this, I'm also excited to just share about the four different courses that you're going to go through. So course zero is foundations. And so each course is going to have a whole set of lessons that, roll up into it. But for each of them, they all have a learning goal. So this is about like, I can use common workplace technology to communicate clearly, organize, manage work, prioritize tasks, track, and explain project impact over time. And so this piece right here, what we're looking for is going to be like a text document that establishes who you are and how you work with AI. So this is about your story. So it's not just about AI, it's like who you are in terms of this work. And then we're going to go into course one. So AI leadership. So I understand how to use generative AI. And then it's also about like ethically choosing the right tasks to generate and refine ideas. And then in this, we're looking for outcomes that are documented understandings of AI to take into interviews. So again, like when now we're talking about soft skills, like what about AI do you need to be able to communicate when you go into your interviews? The third course, course two, is WordPress. So I can explain open source and the WordPress community, identify and pursue WordPress roles, deploy and build a WordPress site. And so again, when I'm looking at this one, we're talking about the outcome being a WordPress website that clearly states who you are and what you do. All of this is aligned to a potential opportunity with WordPress. And so we want to make sure that we're really clear about making sure that everything that you are producing is ultimately preparing you for that opportunity. And then the fourth and last of the courses is course three, so success skills. So I can build and present a clear personal brand, advocate for a living wage aligned with my goals, grow and use professional relationships, and handle conflict in healthy ways to achieve positive career outcomes. So this, your outcome, is a polished career toolkit. So that's going to be positioning you for opportunities. So all of this is not just, I'm going to do the coursework to like say that the thing is done, but it's truly like a portfolio that shows how able you are to step into the role. And so before I go into what happens next, I do want to reiterate that like if any questions or like musings are coming up, go ahead and throw it in the Slack because I mean like people are watching it. So you may as well just ask whatever you want to ask. Um, Blake put it in the chat, but just so you know, it is slack.ai-leaders.org. And so you are, I would say, like joining the participants is required in the sense that if you do not join that, you will be lost in the sauce. Okay. So just go ahead and join. And then there's two other ones that are really about community building and the opportunity to be like more social. And so that is AI Leaders Community and AI Leaders Social. And then again, looking ahead, course zero, so that's our first course, Foundations, is going to open on April 1st at 11:11. So be ready. This then takes us back to Slack. So make sure you're in it. Ask questions, get support. This is genuinely like if you were working through your courses and a question comes up, it needs to go into the Slack. And also, if you know the answer to it, please contribute it. Like there's absolutely no reason that you should be holding back your like skills and abilities in this space. We are invested in growing quickly and intentionally. So like contribute, like throw it in there. Also, a great opportunity to share progress, ideas, and wins. Like you can celebrate the fact that you're doing something really well. So put it in there. And then we will make sure that we are pinning the most important messages for you to refer back to so you have that guidance. And also turn on your notifications because also Slack is one of those. I mean, I would say with any platform that we use for working. If you don't have the notification on, it's just like very easy to miss. And so we don't want anyone to miss opportunities on accident. Um, and then when you get in there, introduce yourself. So, like, why are you here? Like, what are you trying to get out of this? Like, start setting up like who you are as a brand now. So you have the practice of saying who you are, why you're here, and what you're trying to get out of this experience. And then as I mentioned before, this is the beta pilot. And so, what that is really going to mean for y'all is that you guys are helping test and shape what the AI leader experience looks like. So, there will be another cohort that follows y'all. And so, if you're like, hey, like, this feels a little loosey goosey for me, that's okay. This is really a strong fit for people who are both learners and thought partners. So if you are just like maybe not in that moment in your like education life right now, like no shame. What we're saying is like there will be more opportunities, and we want to encourage you again to lean in and help us shape this so that way it is something that feels really accessible to anyone who's interested. And then I want to leave y'all with just like the fact that you are here for a reason. So you've already done the first step, which was just like showing up. And so at that point, like you may as well just keep rolling. Okay. We're going to take this time to build those practical AI and WordPress skills. We want to make sure that you see that there are clear pathways for this work and who you are. This is also an opportunity in a space where we want you to learn and contribute and grow. And then also get clear on which WordPress role best fits you now. That could evolve. But like think about like what in this moment would you be really excited about and lean into that. And then the other things are like really identifying one thing you want to build or improve through this program. So set those goals for yourself. Again, we're not only looking for how you can use AI, but we're also looking for like what kind of team member and contributor you can be. And so that's about setting those personal goals and being like, this is how I want to show up in this space. This is what I know will take me further. Like, this is what I know will make me appealing to wherever it is you're trying to go in your future. So we want you moving towards that. And we think that this is a great opportunity to do that. And so, with that being said, I am done yapping. But that doesn't mean you should not, again, in our Slack, ask questions. And Blake, I
Yep.
see you, so go for it.
Yeah, and if you don't mind taking down
Go
the
for it.
screen because I know people can't see me when the screen
Yes.
is up. Cool. Ooh, there we go. Hey y'all, I just wanted to jump in with some of the great questions that are being asked in Slack. And again, we gave a lot to you. So I'll just slow it down a little bit as I'm not good at doing myself. But so a few of the big questions that came up for folks was the biggest one, will we be posting the slides online? Yes, definitely. The slides and everything that we recorded here will be posted online sometime after this. Well, depending on how many questions are now, maybe we can get to it tonight. I got to get tacos soon, so maybe not. But we'll definitely do it before the end of the week, and we'll make sure everybody knows it's there. For those of you who haven't used Slack, we'll be using the channel ping to ping everybody, but like Asia said, we'll also be pinning very important information. So if you wanted to look through, there's going to be a lot of stuff. The other thing I wanted to mention is that thanks to one of our participants and AI leaders, we're going to have a regular daily summary of what's going on because you might be well overwhelmed. Don't worry. Every day at 11:11 a.m., we'll have a summary of the things in Slack. Feel free to look through, feel free to browse through. We are looking at folks that are active in the community. And so there's something called Slack lurking when you're just kind of sitting back and watching things and waiting for your move. That's great. And some of the most efficient people do that. That's awesome. And I have to say, from my perspective and some of the employers that we work with perspectives, the folks who speak up, even though it kind of sucks to speak up, are the ones that get noticed. And so we want to make sure we can elevate voices, all voices in the community. But it is just kind of how it is. And luckily, with the advances of AI, you can kind of figure out your words as you want. So at the very least, please give an introduction. So let me bring up a few more questions that are coming. One that I was just answering right now was about the job opportunity after getting selected to the 40-member cohort. Let me just say what Asia said. We have a process that you will go through the next several weeks into May. So we start officially on April 1st. That's also when Apple Computer officially started too, April Fool's Day. We're not joking, it will start that day. And we go from that day until mid-May. You're going to be focused on working through an online platform called 1111 Learn that Asia brought up. It's a really simple platform. It's a Chrome extension. And it's not like Canvas, if you've used that, or Blackboard. It's actually a brand new platform that you work through and you build activities and build your portfolio through. So for that time, from April 1st until mid-May, you're going to be building your portfolio. It's not overly intensive. We're expecting you're going to spend several hours a week on it and building it out. We'll be releasing the courses every 2 weeks. So April 1st, April 14th, April 21st, and so on. So we'll be releasing the courses in a nice kind of pattern, but we'll also be doing some engagement through Slack to keep the community going and answer any questions you have. So again, from April 1st through mid-May, we'll be developing your portfolio through this guided process. And if you are a very experienced AI champion, that's great. You have a place here because in mid to late May, we're going to be selecting from the portfolios submitted 40 folks to be our participants in our job placement cohort. And so the folks who aren't selected, don't feel bad. It's just the process. We're working with employer partners to look at these portfolio items and identify where they can fit in their organization. What does job placement mean? It doesn't mean when it comes down, you're going to be selected and given a job right there for everybody. Some people it might, we'll see. It's kind of up to the employer partners. We have 40 positions. At the very least, you can expect an interview if you're selected. But beyond that, we Asia, I, and Stefan, who you'll meet, really want to be mentors and coaches and try to push you to be the best in your career. The kind of positions that we're looking to staff are everything from support folks who are very new to technology, very new to WordPress, but definitely have that demonstrated passion, all the way to upper level AI engineers who are working deeply in the teams and developing some cool stuff. This program is not going to take you from zero to an upper level AI engineer. What it's going to do is help focus on what you already know, where your passion is, and then match that with different career opportunities. So if you're looking for something to really kind of push you to like a coding boot camp, that's not really what we're focused on here. But we are going to teach you some tools, teach you how to express yourself. Also, we are going to get to the fundamentals of AI literacy. The course itself is generative, so it does match to who you are and where you are. It's not one size fits all. So everybody on that spectrum, from someone who's a new to WordPress to somebody who's been hacking for a long time and is just looking for a way to be noticed, this course is for you. Back to the Slack, a few other questions that I see coming in. How long is it going to be? So it really depends on what kind of learner you are. We have activities that are like 5 minute activities. I like to say bite-sized activities. Most of the lessons in the course have 5 activities. So we're figuring that people are going to spend about 25-minute increments hacking through this. There are 6 to 7 lessons per course, and you'll be going through this. We also hope people go back in lessons and fix it and change things as they go through it. It's all designed for that. Um, some of the other questions I see is could you talk a little bit about more of the 1111 platform? This is really cool. So on April 1st in Slack, we're going to drop the link to the 1111 platform. You will all have users to log in. We're also going to do that. We have your email addresses through the form that you signed up on. Please get in touch with me, Blake, if that email address changes, or let us know, because that's what we're using to set up the username and password. But on April 1st, probably at 11:11, we're going to drop the link to the platform. And what the platform is a Google extension. So, I'll give y'all a sneak peek since y'all are using Slack and asking so much. So let me just share my screen real quick. This is what it's going to look like. So it's a Google extension that is in Google. We want everybody here so they can get credit and be part of this to log in and use it, but I'll do it without logging in just to show you all where it is. But it's a Google extension. And why it's a Google extension is because it's going to guide you through things to do in your web browser and build your portfolio. So it's all living right here as a Google extension in your web browser. I'm a big person for accessibility. That's my whole background. So if you do have accessibility concerns, please let us know. The app is also built to be generative and meet different accessibility concerns. But we will be dropping, that's enough of the sneak peek. We will be dropping that app on April 1st. You will be the first cohort to use this app. We do have a small cohort of people testing it in the background. So it is going to be a beta app. What that means is we want your feedback. You can give feedback in the app, you can give feedback online. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but we're okay with that because we're all going to be learning together. So this is a big piece of learning and become a technologist is learning how to get over bugs and deal with inevitable changes. Some people like to say the internet is chaos. Hopefully this won't be a chaotic experience for anybody. We're here to help guide you through it. But we are here for you. The WordPress courses are open for everyone. I'm going through questions again. WordPress courses are open for everyone. Anybody who's here can take part in this entire program. It's an open source program, means anybody can take part of it. Now, I do have to say, the 40 participants that we choose will have to be from one of our partner organizations, which are ULL, University of Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana Tech, and University of Illinois, Chicago. So it's really important to me to state this again. The 40 participants that we select into the job placement program will have to be from a partner institution. And it's just because it's the way that it's set up and the way that we're conducting the research on this, it has to be from a partner institution. That doesn't mean everybody else who goes through this will get nothing. A, they'll get a great portfolio item. B, they'll be members of our great community now. And C, we are going to have future cohorts. And so this is just the first one. So those 40 folks will be from the first one. And we intend to honor your time with us. So please be aware that if you're not selected as a 40 because you're not a member of our partner organizations, there might be another opportunity in the future. So don't give up there. The paying any fees. So another question that I see in the Slack is, do we need to pay any fees? And what criteria do we need to receive this the $1,000 stipend, not $100,000 stipend, the $1,000 stipend? No fees. There are absolutely no fees to this. The platform and everything is open source. We intend to use as many open source tools as possible. No fees. There will be no fees. There will be people will be paid $1,000 stipend for completing the 40-person cohort. So that is a completion. So if you're selected from that and you meet those selection criteria that we said, which is you're from a partner institution, an employer wants to work with you, and we're going to pick at most 40, um, you will receive the $1,000 stipend on completion. Completion is going to be June 23rd. We have a special kind of graduation that we'll talk about more later around that, but you will receive your $1,000 stipend then. So again, um, so you don't need to pay any fees, and the only criteria to meet the to receive the $1,000 stipend is that you're selected for the 40-person cohort. You finish it. You're there with us with graduation, and you're with one of our partner affiliate groups, or so UIC, Louisiana Tech, and ULL. Those are the contingencies around the $1,000. Um, I need to change my email. Great. So if you need to change your email, I'm going to drop this in right now. DM me, and I'll put my direct link here. If you DM me that you need to change your email, please get in touch with me, and I will, or my Claude assistant will take care of all of this. Scrolling through, seeing if there's any other questions. Feel free to ask any questions in the Slack. If I'm graduating from UIC in May, would that exempt me from placement? No. So there's a really key distinction. You are participants in the AI Leaders program. This is separate from your student status with UIC or ULL or Louisiana Tech. We are working with I am an employee at UIC, but we're also working with a huge amount of folks beyond just me and UIC people, and so you are all participants in this. And so no matter where you are in your academic career, that really does has no bounding on this. This is a completely independent micro credential, and it's how these micro credentials work. You're also not going to receive a credit um, uh, through your institution right now. It's a separate piece, even though it's all the research is being conducted by UIC and it's at UIC. But this is a micro credential, and that kind of separation allows us to partner with all the organizations that we're partnered with and bring in the large cohort that we're excited to host here. So it's key that don't worry about any of your affiliation pieces. We will check to make sure you are affiliated in some way. If you are going to be selected for the 40, that's about as far as it goes. I saw a call for QA testers. Is that still open? I'm going to refer that to Mr. Stefan Pasternak, who's not here, but I will drop him in there. But you should get in touch with Stefan about that call for QA testers. Stefan will be able to answer that. So except for the people who get selected, no one else will be part of graduation. That is a good question. Um, I will. The only thing I'll say is nothing AI Leaders does is closed. um, but uh, but you won't actually go through the job placement program in the official way or be eligible for the stipend. So again, if you're not at one of the selected schools, like I can't say you wouldn't be part of graduation, but like you wouldn't be getting the same uh, uh, a stipend or job placements as of right now. That said, nothing is closed, so I can't imagine that we would ever say this is going to be a secret thing with us view. That's also an important note. Related note is like my ethos, and I hope what we're bringing to the community is defaulting to transparency. Uh, I will try to say I don't know as long as I don't know. Like that question, I don't really know how we're going to do the invites to graduation. I expect that we'll invite everybody to the graduation, but we'll see. But please default to transparency. If you're thinking about something and you're struggling over it, just ask, And if you're uncomfortable in asking the public channel, feel free to reach out to Asia, Stefan, or myself. We want to encourage as much public communication as possible, but we understand that folks don't have the radical transparency that we all have. I see a few more questions about QA testers. That's great. So, is there a list of potential organizations, companies, employers? The list is WordPress companies. So we're working with WordPress. The actual organization WordPress, it's a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're working with WordPress. WordPress is an umbrella of so many different great folks in a larger, I think it's $500 billion a year ecosystem of WordPress. So um, we can bring a list of that. But what we are doing is we're working with the WordPress Foundation to identify some key folks. One of the biggest employers, I will say, and one of the biggest contributor to WordPress is a company called Automatic. And Automatic is the company that the WordPress founder, Matt Mullenweg, started. So that's a pretty good company to start with. But as this program goes on, we will be bringing in other organizations, bringing in employers. So you will we'll unpack that statement. But WordPress is a large ecosystem, and what I want to say right now is just that uh, the employers within the WordPress ecosystem are going to be looking at our at portfolios. Um, I like that there's a few of those questions. That's really good. You know, push us on questions. Feel free. Um, it says we will receive $1,000 award of finishing the course. If is there only 40 people selected for it? Yes. Yeah, so the $1,000 is is completed on the completion of the course. There's a good question here. I'm glad somebody caught it, which is it says 80, not 40. So I'm confused on this. So here's what happened. Um, 40 people were always going to be selected for the job placement. So 40 is the number that we've always been at selected for the job placement. But we had such unprecedented talent submitting and applying to AI leaders that we decided to open it up to more people than just 80. So what we were going to do, the process was we were only going to open up the initial section of AI leaders to 80 people. And then we were going to trim that 80 to 40. But we saw so much talent out there that we really couldn't restrict as many people as 80. That would have been cutting a lot of folks that we thought were really good candidates for this. So we ended up expanding that bucket quite a bit more. And so you are a privileged uh, participant. We did go through a selection process to make sure you are the right one to get in here, largely led by AI. But there are more than 80 of you. And we think that's a good thing because that's going to build the conversation, build the collaboration, and build the networks that you have. So yes, so we did go beyond that 80 from the initial sign up. Then from there, we are still trimming down to 40. We're selecting 40. That selection again will be made later in May, and it will be based off portfolio items and employer interests. So we are working with employers to team up. There won't be any less than 40, and there probably won't be any more than 40 chosen out of the cohort. We do have WordPress is a giant ecosystem. I think at last count, 700,000 job openings needed WordPress skills. So jobs are in no short of supply, and we're trying to be as much of a fast track into that as possible. So again, we're trimming it down to 40, and those 40 people we're going to work with really, really closely and one-on-one. Just to say a little bit thing about the 40, that's going to be more of a mentorship piece. Whereas this kind of larger cohort is working with AI tools, engaging in Slack, having conversations, hopefully connecting, hopefully seeing other interests in common. But the 40 group is going to be a trimmed down and very, very focused group. Um, do you see? I'm just going to keep going. So
Can I
I love.
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
like, can I also throw in there? I'm also seeing this like sentiment that's like popping up like, oh, well, how many people are there? Like, is it like how competitive is it like whatever? And I am many years out of university at this point. And I will just say that like do not focus on like the competition. Just like get in and like go for it. And I think that's the most important thing that I can say to you from this point through like forever because to Blake's point, and I think this is kind of like getting a little like lost in the like the 40 people of it. Even like the QA testing is a perfect example of like opportunities are just popping up in this space all the time that you become privy to because you're a part of it. So, yes, there's like the very specific, like we know there will be 40 that we're able to directly connect with WordPress in this specific capacity. And also, we know for a fact that other opportunities are going to come up in this space. And we don't want you to miss that being too focused on like just this one specific lane. Like, this is one opportunity that is opened up by you being a part of the larger ecosystem. And so I just don't want that to get lost. Like, there will be other paid opportunities, there will be other networks that you are a part of that you like just like did not even know would come from it. And so I really want to emphasize that because this world moves so quickly that like things are literally popping up. I mean, just like watching how we've like built out this system, something is popping up all of the time. So like truly when you get into this Slack, I want you to be engaging, like I want you to be focused. Do not worry about competition. Obviously do your best. Like you should be competitive, but I wouldn't lose sight of like the opportunities that exist, focusing too narrowly on one. So I'm just going to throw it out there. And in the grand scheme of time, this is not going to take up so much time that it would be a waste, especially given the trade off of the portfolio that you can take this portfolio. And if you already have another portfolio, then you have the opportunity to integrate the two to make a stronger, right? So, like, I really want to emphasize that as, like I said, as uh, a few many years out of university and a few career changes and like life is a funny place. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Thanks, Asia. I saw another great this is a fun kind of riffing ceremony, but I saw another great question around um, what does a certificate mean to employers, for employers and other companies? That's a really, really good question. And the way I would answer that is putting on my hat as a former employer and talking to many, many different employers. Certificates in general don't mean that much. Um, and the major thing that we're pushing folks to, and what you will get out of this program, is a portfolio and portfolio items tuned to highlighting AI related interests, AI related skills, and more, even more particularly, how that can relate to WordPress. You can take it your own route. You can not relate it to WordPress if you're totally not interested in AI and um, you really don't want to look at a computer, maybe you might want to think about spending some other thing with your time. But like we are really after focusing on portfolio items. We really want you to get something out of it that is useful, even if that's saying, I'm not interested in tech. I'm not interested in WordPress. I'm not even interested in AI, but I have a portfolio item to tell every prospective employers why and what I am interested in. That's a really key thing. This program and all the folks, including Asia and Stefan, who are involved, are pros at helping you gain that confidence to really be the most of what you want to be. Uh, that is the most important part of this process in my book. So the certificate, if at the end of the day everybody tells us they want a piece of paper and a badge to put on their LinkedIn profile, great, we'll do that. But what I'm really hoping you have is a link, a statement of intent. These are the things that we're gonna really gonna train this on. So if you're and I say that with the kindest heart as a employer. Um, cool. I'm seeing people answer each other's questions. I really like that. Bonus points to everybody who is answering each other's questions. Um, that's a signal. So just for to talk about the Slack a little bit, when somebody starts to answer others people's questions in a respectful and diligent way because they've been active in the community and they know a few things, um, that's a sign to us, it's a sign to employers that this person is really invested. And I see that not just in our own group. I got my start just going in different Slack channels. So the WordPress Slack channel, there is accessibility Slack channels, browsing around, adding feedback, asking questions. That's how I got noticed initially. So we're pushing this not just for you to use inside AI leaders, but beyond. So I love when people answer questions, they get bonus points or have some ideas of things that we can use. We've already started surfacing different articles people wrote that they thought were interesting. Please drop those in. We've started surfacing different tools that people find interesting. And we also really love when people collaborate and communicate. If you looked at the different pins, um, let me just share my screen again real quick because this is an important thing to highlight. If you click on pins on any channel, you can see the things that we're focused on most. Currently, right here, we're focused on we've pinned 5 key links that you can look towards. I'll even drop the link into this chat here so that you see it, and I'll also elevate it in our community. This I'll say start here. This bit of information is what we're starting to look at. We're going to post some more reading docs as we go. Because, like Asia said, from now through April 1st, we're really going to start to see. We want people to engage with the community, get in touch with the community, move through it. Then on April 1st, we will have more kind of individualized learning opportunities. So from now until then, we really want people to be engaged, kind of move through it, have conversations. We're going to be engaged. There will be probably some hangouts that we do. You'll see. Feel free to have your own hangout. Last cohort or the last time we did this, folks got excited about doing a game night. So like, feel free to launch that. Take it where you want it. The folks that can really use this and make something out of it will be the ones that are elevated. Um, I'm going to go over a few more questions here. So this may work well for future potential employers too. Yes, everything we're doing is about building a portfolio. That's what the system is about. Um, do you happen to know if the cohort claims any stake in the IP we're refining? No IP stakes. No, I mean it's like you build your own kind of piece. We do have a privacy policy that folks can read that I should actually also surface pretty high, and we are going to have a session on that. So there is, we do like a school work with data, and so we have a privacy policy about data. So I will put this in here about that. And if you feel uncomfortable or have any questions, um, uh, please ask. But you own your IP. We do have a privacy policy uh, here. All right, I'll drop that in. Um, yeah, you own it, and we're open source people here. So if you look in one of the articles that I pinned on the 4 freedoms, which I don't see it pinned now, but I will pin it on the 4 freedoms. I will pin that right now. It talks a little about open source, and if you don't know what open source is, it follows 4 key freedoms, and those 4 freedoms help ensure that your content is free and that the commons can benefit from it. So I'm a real big believer in them, and I will pin it as well and resurface it so that folks can see it again here um, in the community. But please look at that and read it. I'm seeing questions slow down, so this is great. LA Tech AI Leaders Group, great idea. Go Bulldogs. Um, I'm surprised I'm not seeing more flames because the UIC mascot is the flames. So it's interesting that we're not seeing the flames, but well, it isn't the flames. There is an actual mascot, but we are the flames. Um, cool. I'm looking at the questions are slowing down here. We will go through. There was a bunch of flames. Okay, great. I like seeing the flames rise. Okay, this is good. This is good. Uh, there we go. Okay, the flames are now rising uh, in the Slack channel. So we're having some some good time there, and the tamales have entered into the Slack channel as well. Um, so this is good. It looks like flames are dominating and bulldogs aren't. So bulldogs, you have to start bulldogging. I'll just be one for the bulldogs. I don't know what ULL's uh um uh mascot is, but if anybody knows there, wow, somebody made a whole dragon of emojis. This is great. Okay, now we're really starting to get people excited about this. This is great. Raging Cajuns. Oh, I should have known. Raging Cajuns are key. I don't know what their emoji would be. Maybe a boudin. Let's do. Is there a sausage? Okay, now we're getting silly, which is a good part of this piece. So yes, keep the emojis coming. It will, for those of you who are super annoyed that I just unleashed an emoji storm into Slack, it's okay because tomorrow at 11:11 you can open up to a a good summary of everything that we talked about. It will be tomorrow at 11:11. I am also pinning all of the summaries. I will do the latest summary now. So you will be able to go at your own convenience and look at the pins if you weren't there. Don't worry about, we do want people engaged. We do want people looking at it. And the the most important stuff, the stuff that you really can't miss, is not going to be hidden. We are going to post it in the announcements area and also let resurface it in the channel using the channel icon. So we will definitely surface it. You don't have to have your eyes glued on the giant emoji circus that's now happening. Um, we will surface things using pins and talking to the channel, and we might also even break out this channel into multiple channels. So if this channel turns into the emoji circus, which it could, we can break it out into its own channel. But I have just pinned for you the last highlight of our last kind of Claude based system. So if you look, what I just pinned in Slack is what Claude will write to us every morning at 11:11. Keep catching up. I'm curious how it's going to handle these emojis. We'll see what it does. Um, and yes, we do have a different channel for official announcements. So let me put that there. It's announcements is the channel for official announcements. Um, so if you look at announcements, that will have all the official announcements in there. But we still do want people to engage in the AI leaders participants. We will curate it. We might create new we might create new channels as we need and continue on there. I love people resurfacing archives. Looks like AI UIC is there somewhere. I'm glad somebody found that. This is good. So like new channels, we can definitely get them going. Feel free to ask questions and feel free to hit us up. I'm seeing the questions slow down in the participants, so that's cool. Lots more introductions. Good to see introductions. I love that somebody made an official UIC participants group. That's great. I will surface that as well for folks to look at. This is great. So feel free to create a Bulldogs group, a Raging Cajuns group, whatever you need here. This Slack is yours. Anna Maria is asking. Anna Maria is asking what the job opportunities look like. They range in everything from a support associate to a top level AI engineer. WordPress, I mentioned this to somebody else, but WordPress has tons and tons and tons of different resources. There are WordPress companies that just work with healthcare. There are WordPress companies that just work on advertising and work with artists. So, we'll be focused on that. The biggest WordPress companies, um, which if you go to WordPress.org and you look at the companies referenced there, the biggest.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was frozen too or who froze, but Blake froze. Okay, friends. Well, it is almost 7, and I don't know if he's going to be back. I have nothing else to add. And now that you guys know how to use the Slack and all that jazz, you just keep an eye out for announcements at 11:11 each day. And yeah, I'll be in the Slack if you need me. So will Blake and Stefan. So, oh wait, I think he's back. I don't know. We'll see. He's maybe. All right. Well, bye.
Hey, folks, sorry I was just frozen. I don't know if Asia cut it off, but that's probably a good chance for me to cut off. There's only 51 people left. So I thank you all for coming. If you have any more questions at all, feel free to post them in the Slack. This is going to be a fun experience for all of us. I will post one more time the Slack channel for you all. Um, so please attend via Slack. But thank you again for joining, and I hope you get a lot out of this. It'll be wild, it'll be fun, and most importantly, it's going to be a useful experience. We're really working hard to do it, and there's a great team working on it. So thank you all. Thank you, Nick, and everybody else. We'll see you on Slack, and we'll see you in future huddles on Slack too. There's going to be some fun things. So thank you all. I'll stay here for a few more minutes just to let everybody trickle out. But thank you all. All right, y'all, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you all for being part of this, and see you soon.